Alright people, welcome back to a new video. Tonight, once again, looking at AMC and GME. So today we are seeing quite a lot of flat action with both of these stocks so far. Looking at AMC today, the stock is up by around 0.3%. Looking at GME, however, the stock is down today. We can have a look and see that it's down by over 1%. So of course, pretty flat for both of these. Obviously, GameStop is now moving into the red. Over the past 5 days for GameStop, we are also in the red. So that is down by about 10%. On the other hand, AMC I do believe is still up. So you can see big gains with AMC right here, up by around 24%. So right now the question for these stocks is mixed. The question for GME, with it dropping by such a significant amount, is the stock dead and will it continue to go down? The question with AMC is, will the stock continue to go up, and why has it been trading quite flat over the past few days? Obviously, I am not a financial advisor and this video consists of only my opinions, but if you do want to hear my opinions, do make sure to smash that like button and of course also smash that subscribe button. We are trying to increase the number of subscribers that we do have, and you guys are helping us by a massive amount, so thank you for everything so far. But yeah, let's jump into this video right now, looking at AMC first and then moving on to GME. So yeah, AMC in the past week, well, we are still seeing quite a lot of growth actually. On the charts again, we are up by around 24%, which is good. And over the past month, even bigger gains that we are seeing now, we are up by around 139%. So of course, AMC is still moving into the green. Even today, we are up by only about 0.3%, but it is still another day in the green, which is fantastic. If we do quickly move over and have a look at how GME has been moving today, or at least in the past week, we are down by 10%. Now the past month for GME has brought insane growth figures. If we do have a look at these charts right here, we can see up about 369% so far in the past 30 days, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, of course we can see that GME has taken quite a big rise. The same can be said for AMC in the past month, but now we are going to focus on GME and why it may be dropping in the past few days. Well guys, the first logical reason in my opinion is the fact that the GME stock has of course taken a massive rise in the past month. It does make sense that subsequently the share is going to sell off a little bit. Let's face this one guys, looking at this one in the past 6 months, we have seen big growth. Of course we had that initial spike of hype, people trying to trigger that short squeeze, and of course that pushed the share price all the way up past $347. Now of course at that point a lot of people bought in, a lot of people made losses, or at least at a similar point people bought in. And it does make sense that if people had bought this stock at 225 and saw the share push all the way up to this point here, they would have made about 17% profit, and subsequently I think a lot of people who got in a bit too late were selling out on this second rise. So not even too concerning in my opinion. But what we are seeing right now is the stock price actually level out a little bit in the past week or so. Again, today is slightly red, but it is less than what we have seen previously. And looking at this point from midday on the 16th, we can see a bit of a pullback. So from that low on the 16th until now, we are up by 24%. So we are still seeing a bit of gains looking at GME stock. Now I think this is a good thing that we are seeing. I would love to see this one pull back a bit. Again, looking towards the end of session, things looking pretty decent on the 4-hour charts, and on the 1-day charts we can see that things are ever so slightly pulling themselves a little bit up. We are seeing some positive action moving towards GME today on the candlesticks, but it was not enough to bring us into the green. So again, potentially looking at this chart, and just to make it a bit more simple, looking at Google's charts in the past 6 months, we can see that yes, we saw this dip, but now things look like they may be starting to pick up ever so slightly again. I think this is a good sign, and I think it definitely could equate to some more growth. So would I buy this stock at the moment? Honestly guys, I would not buy this stock at the moment, and that is not because I don't like the stock, it's not because I don't want to see it do well, it's because in my eyes at least it is quite a risky investment anyway, and with how it is moving right now, I think it is just not the best time to buy it. Don't get me wrong, if this one was to move into the green tomorrow, I would consider it a buy. I think if it moves back into the green, I think that also could trigger an even further move into the green, as people will be buying this hype and wanting to send the share price up once more. So I don't think it is dead at the moment. I think if it is dead, or at least if it's dying out, it is a bit too soon to say. But yeah, just because of how it has been moving in the past few days, with that sell sell-off in the past week or so, with the whole 5-day period being red, I personally would avoid buying this one at the moment. Now that doesn't mean it's not a good stock, but in my eyes, of course, it was overhyped in how high it went anyway, and of course now we are seeing a bit of a drop. It is slightly concerning. Not too worrying, because again, it's not by too much and it has picked itself up in the past day or so, which is good, but still I wouldn't buy this one at the moment. Right, so let's quickly move on to AMC. Yeah, so AMC in the past week, on the other hand, is up massively, which is fantastic. So again, I have spoken about this in a previous episode. I think that GME was the one that got the initial hype. It got sent flying into the sky, and that's not a bad thing as well, because people did make decent profits on that. But I think subsequently, a byproduct of this is the fact that AMC was a stock which didn't really get talked about as much. Now, as far as this Reddit hype is concerned, I don't think it is over. I think we are definitely going to see stocks rocket going forwards. I think AMC now has its cards on the table to become a stock which does rocket into the sky. We've seen many reports from people who want to send the share price as high as $1,000. I've seen price targets as high as $2,000, and I've spoken about this before. I think these targets are a little bit too high in my opinion. Now, of course, it never hurts to be optimistic, but it does make sense that you should be realistic. I think, you know what, it's not impossible that this share price could hit $50, could hit $100, perhaps more than that. But even if it was to hit, let's say, for example, $100, that would still give us profits of around 10 times, which is insane. So I think that is a thing to remember looking at this stock. But yeah, today is actually in the green, which is good, and over the past few days we can see that from this low point on the 16th, this stock is pulling itself back. Now look at how this one has been moving in the past 2 or 3 days. We can see it saw a similar drop off in price as GME took, and I think that is not bad. I think the fact this one is pulling itself back ever so stronger is a good sign, and once again this one didn't get hyped as much. It didn't get sent absolutely to the moon, it didn't rocket absolutely quite high, so I think this still does leave a lot of potential on the table. So would I buy this stock at the moment? Well, personally, guys, I definitely would look to buy this stock. I think out of the two, this one is the more safe in my opinion, because let's face it, if GME was to drop to, let's say, $50 from where it is right now, that would present bigger losses than if AMC was to drop by $5. Of course, it would still be a 50% loss, but I would recommend that if you are to buy shares in either of these stocks, you only put in what you are willing to lose in a worst case scenario, because we just don't know for certain where these stocks are going. But yeah, today's candle is pretty flat. We do see a lot of strength to the downside and a lot of strength to the upside. It looks like the upside is a little bit stronger, which again does indicate to me at least some potential for this one to continue into tomorrow, and I would love to see that. I do hope this one does remain positive into tomorrow. So in my eyes, I think this one does see a lot of potential still. I am happy to consider it a buy at the moment, but again, if you are looking for specific entry points, I would buy this one towards the later part of tomorrow's session, or at least towards the later part of any session in the future, just to see where it is moving throughout that day, because if tomorrow is negative, that could be a slightly concerning sign in my opinion. So of course, if it is red, I wouldn't buy it, but if it does continue to go into the green, I think it would be a decent buy. And of course, I'm giving you all of my opinions once more tomorrow, looking at how the stock does move. But if we do see some pretty flat action like what we are seeing today, I think that is fine, and I think it is still a good indication of the stock seeing some big growth. So I would like to see it continue into the future. I think there is a lot of potential for both of these stocks, but at the moment, because AMC is the one which is in the green at the moment, and it has been for the past 5 days, and because GME is crashing by so much, I personally would look to AMC as a slightly better investment at the moment. But of course, neither of these are stable stocks. They're both extremely risky, and that is the most important and crucial thing to remember. So if you do consider that, if you only put in what you're willing to lose in a worst case scenario, I think you will be fine. But so far, that is my opinion on these stocks over the past few days. So thank you for joining me for this one. I thought I'd just give you another quick opinion based video. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye until then.